So right now we're going to construct a congruent angle. So first of all, I need to start off with an angle. I'm just going to randomly create one. So I use a straight edge to create a random angle. And I'm going to call this angle A. In geometry, we use that designation to say, hey, I'm talking about this specific angle. If you have a diagram with multiple points on it, I talked about using other points, one on each ray of your angle, to help name your angle. But right now it's one specific angle, only one, angle A. Okay. So I want to recreate this. Now earlier I was saying, hey, you could measure the line segment with a ruler. Now right here, I can use the protractor. I lined up the dot of my protractor with the bottom portion of my angle, and now I can see and measure out and count out on here like a ruler the actual measure in degrees of that particular angle. Again, that can be pretty sloppy. There's a lot of room for mistake. So what we want to do is we want to be able to construct one so we are exact. We make an exact replica of that. So the first step here is you want to start off with an endpoint, and just like we did with the line segment, you want to create a ray. Pretty easy to create an endpoint with a ray. The next step is to take your compass and you want to create two new points on your original angle. I'm putting the point of my compass up against the vertex of my angle. I'm going to open this up because the wider this is, the easier it is to make an arc. And then I'm going to literally, while pushing down on the point, and the sharper the point, the less pressure you'll have to put. This one is pretty blunt, so I'm putting quite a bit of pressure. But I'm putting very little pressure on the pencil. I'm going to create an arc, and I'm turning my wrist and making a clean arc.
Wait. So how do you know what angle to mark it?
The question is, how do I know which angle to use on my compass? You can use any angle you want, but once you create the opening on your compass, you cannot touch it. It needs to be exactly the same. So what we've done here is we've created 2 points of intersection against our angle, and I'm going to go ahead and dot those out. And those points of intersection, I'm just going to randomly call B and C. Now those are going to be my reference points for my new angle. The next step, without changing the setting on your compass, is you're going to take the end point of your compass and put it on your end point S of your ray. And then you're going to make that same arc. Again, not a lot of pressure on the pencil. And I tend to exaggerate it. I tend to make a large arc because I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to end. So I just created an arc, nice clean arc, using the same measure from my original angle. Okay, we're going to move on to the next step. This is where precision really takes a toll. I'm going to take the end point of my compass and I'm going to put it on point C, which is one of my reference points that I created. I'm then going to close my compass until it matches the distance to point B. So now I change the setting on the compass.
Okay.
So I'm actually going to make a little tiny arc at that point of intersection just to make sure my setting is right. There's a little tiny arc there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and lift up the compass now. I'm still holding the pointed edge, and I'm trying to not touch the pencil part because that may potentially change the angle of measure. Down here, I'm going to take this point of intersection we created. I'm going to name it R, and of course in any construction you could use any letters you want. At this new point of reference R, I'm going to take my point and very firmly hold it down and then add an angle. And notice how I'm doing it really lightly, so I'm going to have to do it multiple times to make it darker. Because if you push down, it may open your compass. So I'm doing it nice and light. And I created a point of intersection without changing the measure of my compass, the setting on it. I'm going to put a dot on that point of intersection. I'm going to call that T. Can you guess what I'm going to do next?
I'll put the compass on T and then do the.
Not quite. No? What do I need to do to finish this off?
Oh, you make a line through the T.
There's a postulate out there. It says through any 2 points you can draw a straight line. Postulate. So I'm going to hold my pencil up against point S. I'm going to move my straight edge. Do you see how that's more accurate than trying to place the straight edge first? I put my pencil on my endpoint. I moved my straight edge. And now I'm moving the straight edge so that it's going to line up with that point of intersection T. And then I'm going to draw my line. So now, in good faith, I can say that angle S is congruent to angle A.